All right, everyone. As I said before, so sorry for the hiccups within the beginning. I tried to make a poll, and that, as you recognized, followed, and also as I've seen, probably could listen, did not work at all. So I'm really psyched. I hear that most of you are from Matthias' class. So I'm really happy that you've signed up this session here today. We're 20 people in the room, which is a debut. Until today, we had roughly a maximum of 10 participants, and we produced a lot of TikTok videos during the webinars. This might get a little tricky, but if your task is to produce a TikTok video, and you can also comment in the chats. I have a second screen open where I can see what you're typing, and I can answer or respond to this, or we can do this.
Yes.
If you want to produce your TikTok video and you feel like you need support, just reach out for us. We're super happy to help you. We're super happy to make sure that you have an amazing first experience. Maybe also another very analog poll. Type your, you actually only have to type me because it's attached to your name anyways. Who's never been on TikTok before, who just signed up for the first time and never produced and published a TikTok video before this session. So please go back to the chat and write the short me, and then I know that the ratio of how many people are doing this for the first time. Oh, okay, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Until now, we're about 50% of you who have not produced a TikTok video before, just to be double sure. And go back to your chat again and type a short yes if you already have produced a TikTok video before. So you've been using the app before and you've already produced your videos and published videos on TikTok. So that's a yes for those who have and a no for those who have not. And I'm looking here at my very analog survey. One,
yes,
good, one
no.
is great. One is great. I can remember a conversation when we spoke about someone who thought about being influencer on YouTube, and you gave him the right answer. How many users or followers does it need to be a YouTube influencer?
Just one.
Just one, because this is where you start, right? So
you have to start somewhere.
Jeanette, you're already a great TikToker. So
hey, Jeanette.
we have 4 people, nice distribution. 4 people have already produced one and published it. That's a nice ratio. Again, super excited to have you here. Please interact with me, and we're going to make this very spontaneous, although of course we've prepared something for you. The whole thing is called TikTok for Business because TikTok is perceived for many as something like, I don't know, it might sound harsh to put it that way, but that's how I've put it. It's like Teletubbies for adults. It's a weird thing where people produce weird movies or weird video clips and expose themselves in a very awkward way. And you feel like, okay, where is this going? What's the purpose of this? There is a purpose. There is something happening here. There is something big happening here. I'm going to share numbers with you, but it's not only for private purpose. It's also if you are an organization, or if you're working for an organization, or if you pretend as a case for your studies to be an organization. There's a lot in there. So we're going to give, as an addition to previous workshops for TikTok, we're going to give a lot of information about how you can actually use this as a company when you want to use it for branding or for communications. Without further ado, let's jump right into this. And I hope that technology doesn't make life tricky for me again. We're going to jump back in here and go to the next slide, because that just shows you a little about the growth of this crazy platform. We have 2012, a few users in 2012. No, actually, it just started in 2013. So a few users there. Give it a little. It's actually Musical.ly was the first one, right? And yes. Musical.ly got acquired by this company, and now it's TikTok out of China, and in China it's Douyin, which is the equivalent. So TikTok is not operating in China. The numbers that you see here unfortunately stopped in 2018, but you see where it is going, and I'm going to share a little about the recent numbers with you as we go. So you can see already it's climbing 2017. It's a nice exponential growth pattern because it's basically doubling every year. So it climbs up to 28 to 500 million in 2018.
Yes.
Before we start, and it's something that we should have done right away, I would like to introduce ourselves. And ladies first, so Laura, go for it.
So hi everybody, my name is Laura Falquez and I'm 24 years old as of today. And my background is I have an animation multimedia artist background. And yeah, I have been in Periscope before, and I have reached an audience of 1 million there. And also, of course, I'm on Instagram, YouTube, and now TikTok as well. And I as well have reached an audience there of 21 million people.
So you're having a real social media guru sitting next to me, which is of course helpful when it comes to the one-on-one, the questions, your thoughts after the main part of the presentation. A way more humble in terms of being an expert in social communications, but I'm maybe experts in communication. I'm in 1972 birth year. I was in advertising business as long as it was exciting, which is probably somewhere in the early 2000s. That was the year, 2006 was the year where I got introduced to TED with a crazy talk about the guy who was introducing the multi-gesture interface a year before the iPhone was launched to the market. And I thought this is actually really exciting. And I'd love to be part of this journey. And I got very close to this journey as being invited as a global TEDx ambassador, working with TED and the global TEDx community, 4,000 licensees. And please write another what is TEDx into the chat if you need more explanation of what it is about, and I can add this to you. TED also brought me to San Francisco. There's an institution called Singularity University where I'm faculty coach for them now. They are experts in exponential growth patterns or exponential growth strategies. Made me all reinvent the concept of advertising. I founded the Innovation Agency network, which has more than 40 companies today. The Innovation Agency basically has this idea that we should have a conversation with our clients, with the people who produce products way earlier, because we know the markets, we know what they're capable of. So we should actually be part of the conversation, not only when the product is finished, just to tell a nice story so people understand and buy it. My School of Talk is something that I founded there to give an umbrella to my public speaking coaching, and the Silicon Valley Inspiration Tours is my main business. It's where I bring global leaders to San Francisco and the Silicon Valley to introduce them to the most inspiring personalities there. Expanded in 2019 to New York, London, Tel Aviv, Dubai, Mumbai, and Hong Kong for the Global Inspiration Tours. And as it's very complicated to put in a nutshell what I'm working, a friend of mine recently named me the business therapist. And I can well resonate with this because I'm really passionate about helping people understand what they're good at and where they can go with these skills to follow their passion, do what not only they're good at, but actually really what they love to do. So that's a bit about us, but we're here to talk about TikTok. Some basic data as we start. It was founded in 2012 as a Douyin in Beijing. And the idea was to create short lip sync and comedy and talent videos. And it grew outside of China since basically since then as Musical.ly, where it was purchased by Douyin in 2017. And that made the whole thing explode. Today, they're in over 150 markets with 75 languages. If you can remember the previous slide where it had 500 million downloads in 2019, it got 1 billion downloads. So it doubled from 2018 to 2019, from 500 to 1 billion. So we have 1.5 billion users right now, which we think will make the whole internet population until the end of the year, which is 3.5 billion users. They have 157 million web visitors per month. And yes, maybe worth mentioning, Facebook is not sleeping like with Snapchat, where they enhance the features of Instagram. They're also working on something called Lasso, and we're going to see where Lasso is coming dangers or putting TikTok under stress. But for now, TikTok is the name of the game when it comes to the fastest growing social network in the internet. it's an AI engine, right? It's about understanding where information comes from and how you can loop between deep machine learning, artificial intelligence engines to create or to distribute content very specific, very, very on the spot for the customers. And no two TikTok users will never have the same For You page, for example, where they're sharing most of these tailor-made contents, which is highly relevant for the advertising business, of course. Maybe just to give you kind of this broad overview of AIs they're using, the engines they're using. So if there is a nerd in the group, you might be excited about AI or ByteDance, which is the parent company, as actually an AI lab where they go from natural language processing to speech and audio, system and networking, machine learning, all the good stuff. There's a lot. I can spend 2 hours just being there, but I want to raise on the surface, not to go too deep into this, because I guess you're all keen on producing your TikTok videos. Maybe also to help a little about the grandness of the whole thing, because TikTok, of course, is a numbers game. There is a fight in available statistics whether TikTok is the has the highest count on downloads on global apps, or number 2 or number 3. So let's be humble and take number 3, but whatever it is, it's among the first, and it's probably bouncing between 1, 2, and 3 as we speak. It's in, as I said before, 155 countries. There is a focus on Asian countries, more than USA, Canada, and the UK, a little in Europe. We've seen data where that shows us that there is only 10% of TikTok users coming from Europe, which basically means that it's going to be skyrocketing here. So if you're in this workshop right now, and if you turn into the TikTok dynamo after this workshop, you're among the first users. It's still among the first users in Europe, which is actually interesting because
there's a lot of potential.
There's so much you can do, exactly. The gender divide is not only female, it's pretty much, when you look into the split, and we're going to go deeper into this for the younger audience. It's more female, and as the audience grows older, it's more male. Julia, you can ask a question anytime, and I will see that question. I will respond to this either right away, or if I know that I'm coming back to this point, what you're asking, I'll go back to your question when I'm actually tackling the topic. So just type it into the chat if that's cool for you, and that's also applying for everyone. If you have a question, please type it into the chat. Also things like, hey, Nikki, slow down. You're too fast. I can't follow. There are too many words in 2 little seconds. I know that I'm a fast speaker. This should work for you, right? And we've scheduled, I think, 2 hours, and we're pretty safe with that. I worked as well if I speak slower. So you just have to give me that feedback. Yeah, let's move on with the data. There are some nice, and I hope, Julia, I answered your question with whether or not there is a question. Just type it into the chat, and I go back to this either right away or when I hit that topic during the presentation. A nice exponential curve when you see from 2016 to 2019, it's basically doubling every year. The same goes with hours spent on TikTok outside of China. As I said, TikTok is not used in China. India has the highest population in TikTok users. These are almost 1.6 billion hours on TikTok in just a month. So you can do the math. I think that's 20,000 users, or sorry, yeah, 20,000 hours per minute or something like that. It's crazy. Moving on. The engagement rate is quite interesting. I mean, when you have under 1,000 followers, the engagement rate is always on the peak. So when you compare it with Instagram or Twitter, there's not too much of a distance. Still, TikTok is leading. But when it comes to 100,000 more followers, TikTok is way, way, way above Instagram and Twitter here. And you can get access to all of these slides. So I'm going to put them on SlideShare and share the access to that, that document with you. And I know that there are, so Laura is also doing this on a live stream on her TikTok wall. So hi, users over there. If you PM Laura, so if you follow Laura and you PM her, she will also share the URL to the SlideShare, to the decks that you can, to the slides that you cannot see right now because you can only watch us.
For sure.
Back to you guys. Yes, we're going to go to the algorithm a little later. It's very interesting. There's no public information about the algorithm, but there is some things that people believe in common, and we're going to share that with you. Another exponential curve, and that's global user spending. So how much $1 billion you're spending on TikTok, which is quite interesting. And also we're going to go into TikTok as a business model and how to spend money on TikToks over there. You can actually also, for example, when you live stream, when you have more than 1,000 followers, you can live stream.
Yes.
People can actually pay you for this because they like your content and they pay you for this, and then you get a payout for producing good content on TikTok.
They're actually like little stickers which people can use, and they transfer onto as money.
They're sort of like cookies or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
they're like pandas and different things. Yeah.
So when you're following someone on TikTok and you really like his content, this is also a neat way to support this person, which speaks to you guys. That was for the web stream followers. Page views, it's a numbers game, as I said before, and you see one exponential curve after the other. 1 billion page views, 10 million page views predicted in April per month. So everyone's going there, everything's happening here. This is maybe interesting when it comes to understanding the differentiation between the audience, age, and income. It's not only a young audience. What I thought in first place, I thought it's a kids thing, 14 to 18, but it's actually not true. When you look into the narrow of 18 to 44, it's almost 70%. It's basically 70% of the TikTok users. And even until 55 to 64, they're 13% using it. So it's a broad audience and it's a wealthy audience. 37% of the TikTok users have more than $100,000 household income, which surprised me. This is the distribution that I mentioned earlier. When you look into the teens, 11% are male and 26% are female. These curves go closer and closer. I've just seen a recent information about the numbers in Germany, and it's basically 50-50. So 30 plus, it's the equal amount men and women who are using TikTok and following TikTok and contributing to the content. So as TikTok is a really nice tool for interaction with your audience, it's also interesting to see how the split in age groups differentiate between what people like to watch and what people like to produce. For example, if your audience supposed to be in the 70s, they like to watch artisan creations, but they produce food videos. If you're talking to the millennials, they watch lifestyle and e-commerce, but they produce scenery. If you're talking to the Cs, they watch cute things like puppies and big eyes and anime stuff, and this is also what they produce. So they like to have these augmented reality features where you have big eyes and all these funny things. And all the features are actually embedded in the app. So every TikTok is produced within the app. And it's a massively powerful tool. So we're going to go into this. The second part of the workshop will be led by Laura, where she's going to guide you through how to produce a video and use all the features in the app.
We definitely want you guys to go home with some practical knowledge as well.
So I'm going to adjust the camera to have both of us here. This should be better. All right. That part is relevant if you must not only have be a company to consider producing or purchasing or buying or paying for an ad on TikTok. It might also be if you produce your own event and you'd like to publish that event. That's also something that might be useful on TikTok. Right now you go to ads.tiktok.com and you actually apply for a conversation, right? You put in all the data, which is just me as a company where I'm located, and then you would be invited for a conversation with someone who takes care of producing the right ad for you. I'm sure this is going to be replaced very soon into an online tool that guides you through, and you can easily boost your videos or produce content, paid content on TikTok. Let me show you what that means. Here is the top view format, which basically is a nice produced video where you can actually add something like learn more and click on a button and put information or direct your audience to your website. The rest, TikToks are 60 seconds or 15 seconds. We forgot to mention that in first place. So you basically can produce anything up to 60 seconds, never longer. And it can be anything below that. The default setting for recording would always be 15 seconds, but we also go into this when it comes to producing your own TikTok. Another format is how you can take over as a brand for a TikTok, where you have above the video, you have not only your branding, but also an element where you can add information about what you actually want people to do, like subscribe to a newsletter or order something for home delivery, whatever it is. It's very short material though. So compared to the 60 seconds video, basically doing 3 to 5 second videos that switch between the content and the activation. Why? Because people don't want too much advertising, right? People pay not to be exposed to advertising. And that's why these very obvious ads are so short, because as a TikTok user, you don't want to be overexposed to advertising. And I think you can already buy an add-on in the app that you don't see advertising. Mm-hmm. Within the feed, so whatever people are producing within the feed, when it fits to formats, you have this add-on where you can, as an advertiser, add your information and it would be directed to a website or to your app or whatever it is. What I see most popular is the hashtag challenge. I don't know, I can remember we have like 25% of you who's been producing their own TikTok videos before, and you probably have seen hashtag challenges before. We all know hashtags from other media, but I would say that TikTok has mastered the concept of hashtag production, where the Coca-Cola Mentos challenge, for example, is probably one of the most famous hashtag challenges on TikTok. It's running actually over a year and has millions of views. We're going to go into these examples in a minute. So you, together with TikTok, you develop a hashtag. They will put it on their channels where they feature high volume production and make sure that there's a huge audience producing their own active content. So it's user generated content. You basically can give them an example, but you don't even have to give them an example if it's so clear what they have to do. And when there's actually also constantly suggestions from TikTok, what you could produce next attached to a hashtag that you should use. And then you can also see how many people have done this before. As I said, it's a numbers game. That also means that people who are producing, like you guys, if you want to produce TikTok videos, you want to rank high in numbers. I'm going to go into Elizabeth's question in a minute. Did I skip one? The hashtag challenge we said. And then you can also have nice effects, right? If I don't know, there's a battery here, or if there's a car going through, or if there's some splishes and blurs, you can all brand and produce something together, so users can actually use your effects when they produce a video. And there's a shitload, pardon my French, of effects available in the app, and we're going to go through this. So let's see a few cases. I think that's the beginning of the fun part. And again, just keep on asking questions while Laura is taking over. When the production part is, I'm going to go into the questions. And if I feel like there are still questions unanswered, I'm coming back to this. Wait, is there an account page needed like on Facebook or more like on Snapchat where ads are possible without company page account? So, okay, so you have your TikTok account, but that doesn't mean that you have an ad account. You actually apply for an ad account. That's what I said before. You go to ads.tiktok.com and you apply for an ad account, which is a separate account than your user account. And with that account, you can create material, and it's not related to what else you are producing. And it's totally not related to Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat or any other of the social media tools. It's all by itself. And you don't have a, like on Facebook where you have like a running page and you just feed that page, is not the case on TikTok. If your company is on TikTok, you constantly have produced material, otherwise you become invisible to the rest of the world. And constant producing material means, I don't know, maybe 5 a day or at least 1 a week. And there are also times where it's good to post videos. So you can not randomly publish your videos, because from the numbers we know specific times slots where you have more than, from experience of TikTok and the number data mining, you have more than 100,000 users responding, reacting on published videos. So these are good times to post videos. But there is no your page where there's your content standalone. People don't go there. They browse through things that happen a lot. They don't go to brand pages. You have to constantly throw in material. And if you stop doing this, you'll disappear. It's as that. A few cases. Spikeballs produced this neat little video, got big numbers in just a month, just because they basically understood what people love to do and they enjoyed that thing. They activated an idea that that you can actually do. It's a very short video, got 1 million likes, 10 million views, 30,000 followers in such a short time. Chipotle, they're very consistent in what they're doing, which is also something that's important when you produce your material on TikTok. Be someone to stand for. Make sure that the audience understands what will come when there's something new coming from you. Be very clear with your niche and your personality or what your company stands for. And Chipotle was just producing these fun and fast activating videos where it's about, there is no limit on how often you can go to Chipotle a week. This, what you see here, is actually another video that's just produced within the app. So it's where you needed a lot of experience in editing or right here to have nice videos. You can all do this within this app. They have the In My Denim hashtag where you just change your outfit. And finally, the suggestion is once you have something that's denim or Guess denim, you really feel nice with it. 38 million views. NBA is a beautiful example of choreography of media, right? They post their highlights on Instagram, they post the news on Twitter, but when it comes to comedy, memes, and motivation, they do it on TikTok. It's very clear, right? If you want to be taken seriously, there are better channels than TikTok, but if you want to entertain people, probably there's no better channel than TikTok. Washington Post, we put this here just because of the fact that it's unusual that print media understands electric channels or social channels that well, how to make use of them with this neat little loop that they've produced. And that's, again, a thing that you can do within the app. Hewlett Packard, another hashtag campaign. They took an TikTok influencer to kick off. So Our Fire has 5.3 million fans, and that's a good starting point to activate people doing the same, right? If that person is doing it, I'm doing it as well. And that might lead into 176 million views. Calvin Klein, they didn't produce a lot, but they took some nice celebrities. Again, it's the same concept. This one is
Shawn Mendes.
Shawn Mendes, I should know by now. A lot of fans, a lot of views in a very short time. Same thing, Crocs, they took this challenge, $1,000 Crocs, started with Post Malone. They have 2.8 billion views on the video. Oh, sorry, on their clips, on their TikToks. I mentioned the Coca-Cola challenge earlier. It's interesting because I'm not sure if that's the oldest challenge on TikTok, but it's still working. You still see people dropping Mentos into Coca-Cola bottles, cans, or dropping Cokes into golf holes and dropping Mentos after them. All this weird kind of stuff and experiments. What happens when you drop a Coke, a Mentos into a Coke? Yeah, that's a nice one with grandma hitting the Coke bottle with just one throw. I want to let you enjoy this.
How much room there is. You just made that in there. You're a freaking beast. Woo.
And now it's about you. Now it's who want to produce their TikTok videos. And
yes.
that brings me to the second part. Maybe I'm looking there to the chat if there is anything you wish to see. We're going to go into the algorithm a little later. So there's more to talk about the algorithm, and we're going to share that with you in a few minutes.
Cool.
So there is a run of production. Let's take it from here.
Okay, so these are the steps we usually always go through, and it makes everything more smooth and more clear. So the first step is get inspired. So do your research, you know, it's very important that when you scroll on the For You page, for example, this is where you can get your research from. Another, like, watch what other people are doing, watch what's working for them, you know, and what are very popular videos you maybe can make too, right? Also very great sources of inspiration would be Pinterest, things like 9gag, if you know that website, then also like you know, other social media networks like YouTube, Facebook. They have a lot of like DIY videos and stuff, you know. Also, you know, depends on what you're looking for, what kind of content, but for everything there is inspiration out there and you should look for it. Yeah, so basically that's the first point. Then of course what you should do is definitely hop on trends. So wait, hold on. Okay, definitely hop on trends, and what you can do is you can research what works well for other people, and there are a lot of videos that a lot of people are doing that are very popular, and you can just choose one of those videos, and that's how you hop on trends. Another way to know, to research what kind of videos are popular right now is by going on to the Discover page. Right, so this is the Discover page. You can see it right here, and this is another way how you can look for popular, very classic videos that boom and work very well to repeat them.
What the hell is beauty mode? What does this do?
So you can watch one of those right now. This is
Okay.
like a classic example for a popular video on TikTok. So the next way you can look up popular content to reproduce is searching for people who are very famous on TikTok already. Usually they have very popular videos as well that you can reproduce. And the third way is search on the search bar. You can type in viral, and that's the other way that you can search. Basically, when you put in viral, there are a lot of random viral videos that pop up, which can also help for inspiration. So yeah, those are the ways. There is, of course, the For You page, where also you can discover new people. Again, for inspiration, great for inspiration. This is the For You page. Again, this is the Explore page. So these are like current trends that appear right now. So this is also very good for when you're starting out, or actually in general, it's very good. If you want to make like a trend video, you can just take this hashtag and do a video with this. And this is also very good if you want to go viral and be pushed by the algorithm. It's very good to use the trends, to participate in the trends. And yeah, that's where you find them.
The other platforms you mentioned, I think, right?
Yeah, the other platforms are mentioned, as well as YouTube, 9gag, Pinterest. Yeah, right, because TikTok basically wants to see new content, you know. It's not only about remaking stuff, but it's also about being original. And so when you're first starting out, it's good to, like, you know, just for getting the vibe, to copy other artists and just remake a video of things that you know that work for other people. But also it's very important that you give it your own twist. So this is what I call remix trends, for example. So you give it your own twist because TikTok loves to see things that it has never seen. So if you give TikTok things that it has never seen, it's gonna push you higher on their algorithm as well.
Oopsie. Sorry.
Right, and also things that work very well are, for example, new releases from iPhone. For example, if you have a new iPhone that just came out, or a new AirPod or something like that, it's also something that works very well because it's something that's new on the market and people are interested in this product. Or makeup brushes. I mean, depends on your niche, right? But those making videos with those new things is also gonna help you grow because it's something that TikTok has never seen. So that's good.
Let's talk about a story.
Yeah, story. So of course, a story is very important as well. I mean, you have it in every book, you have it in every movie, you know what I mean? And so it's important to have a storyline and a clear story. And what does a story have? It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And so just to have that in mind, that those are important things to think of. Yeah, and of course, definitely know your niche. So here we have a gentleman on the screen. This is Guido. It's actually a kind friend of mine. He has like 25K followers on TikTok, and he basically found his niche. He's just a very interesting character, you know, and he created this whole character around himself, and he has like phrases like "oh yeah" is his popular phrase, or like moves that he always does, for which he's like famous for, you know, on the app. So he basically found his niche there. And also, and can you just go just one little thing more? I'm sorry. Yeah, it's very, why is it important to find your niche? It's because also, you know, the goal is always to be found on the For You page, because this is where you go viral. Like, this is the goal basically of every TikToker, to get on the For You page.
And maybe to add on here, you were on the For You page for a week and you got 1,000 followers every day. So plus 1,000 followers every day just for being featured on the For You page. With good content, of course, right? You don't go there. You don't strand on the For You page if you don't deliver good content. And we're going to talk about the algorithm in a bit.
Exactly. And what I wanted to say to that as well is that, if you, once you hit the For You page, like once you get there, because like I mean, sometimes it works instantly, but sometimes it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a few videos to get on the For You page for the first time. And you wanna get there, right? And once you are at the For You page and people can see you and maybe your video goes viral and whatnot, let's imagine the video was about like makeup, and your whole page is actually about cars, right? People won't follow because they're not interested in the content. So make sure that those things line up, right? So that's why it's important to know your niche. All right, then.
Love these you mentioned before, like the new gadgets and the life hacks. These are contents that people just enjoy watching.
Exactly.
I think we can go pretty fast over this.
Right.
Let's prepare.
Cool. So I can stress this enough. Preparation, it sounds silly, but it's very important. And it's the same with video production, but just in a smaller way. So the better you are prepared for your TikTok, the more smoothly it will actually run when you're shooting it, right? So these are some things listed here that you might want to think about, like who is gonna be in the video. What are some props that you need? Like maybe you need some hand soap, maybe you need like a Coca-Cola bottle, maybe you need, I don't know, a hat, whatever, you know. Then light is also very important. Have a good lighting situation, something like that. It shouldn't be like too dark or something. Like we want to have a nice quality video. Then of course choose a location, which right now, as we're all quarantined, just it's gonna be at home. But you know, usually choose a location. Is it gonna be a park? Is it gonna be at home? Is it gonna be at
Still
the
at
mall.
home. It can be kitchen, or it can be
Right.
bedroom, or it can be bathroom, or it can be washroom.
Right, exactly.
Wherever, right?
Yeah, totally.
Home is not only one location.
Exactly, yeah. And so, yeah, then sound is also, of course, very important. Have your sound ready, you know, what sound are you gonna use? And of course, have a little like script, like a little storyboard would be also very nice. So you have your story line.
And we're going to go to the sound later as we prescribe the production of the video. There is a lot of material available, and we actually found a walk around if you don't find your sounds on that video, how you can actually make it with a sound that's not available, but a sound you'd like to have. But we're going to go to this a little later.
Definitely.
Let's do it.
Next is, of course, shoot the video.
So here's the thing. If you want to go and shoot your video as we go right now, that's the time just to produce it, right? You can use the app and shoot a video, not for you guys on the live stream, because that means that you're gonna disappear from the live stream. But for you guys here, you can actually produce your video right now. And if you're not happy, you don't have to publish it, but it's a nice way of interactively learning what the power is behind the app and what power is behind the tool. So give me a quick yes on the chat if you'd like to produce your app, so we can kind of split follow and I can give you text guidance while Laura is moving on with the content. All right, I'm just turning this here because I have double sound. Oops. Okay, it doesn't work. All right, let's do it.
Sure. All right, so the first thing you would want to do is to decide if your video is gonna be 15 seconds or 60 seconds long, because this is gonna be very crucial, because like you don't want to make the mistake to set your video to 15 seconds when you know it's 60, because then you're not gonna be able to finish your video and you have to do it all over again. So make sure to think of that before, because you know you're gonna be very annoyed when that happens.
My personal piece of advice is always switch to 60, because even if you're supposed to, or if you plan to produce a 5 or 10 or 15 seconds video, you're fine. It doesn't mean it has to be 60 seconds, but 15 means it can't be 16. Yes. And whatever you produced within the 15 seconds, you want one more, you can toss it and start from scratch. So my advice is always click to 60 seconds before you start producing.
I don't know, maybe you're so good at this part.
Yeah, so there is a little hack that we've actually learned from Guido, who Laura mentioned earlier. So here's a little wave over there. Yeah. And that's when you lip sync a video, an existing video, and you're gonna learn later how that works. But there is an original sound, and it's very hard to get lip sync to this original sound when the voice is in real-time speed. So when you know that you're going to do this, you just click X3 or X2, because then the voice will become very slow. And it's a lot easier for you to follow that movement with your lips, because you know the words, you know how to widely open or close your mouth as you speak, because it will always be played 1x. So it would just be sped up when other people watch your final movie. But and I think we're gonna see one later where you produce a duet. Mm-hmm. I think this is a really good example where you can later see how that works.
Yes, a duet and then also a react. We're gonna go through all those things.
So that being said, it's about to shoot the video. Of course, you can also upload a video, but we always recommend producing your own within the app. But you can upload a video or sequence and still apply all the filters. It's just better that you produce yours. Also, I would not recommend producing a video and saving this. So producing a video within the app, saving this to your screen and then re-uploading it. For some reason, the algorithm seems not to like this way of moving on. One little thing that I might like to add here is when you know that your video is going to be 15 seconds or 60 seconds, but an equal amount of time for each of these seconds, record blinders. That basically means that you just record sections of 10 seconds each, because you can go back to the app and then reshoot these 10 seconds. So what you can see here is you just shoot 3 5-second elements, and that makes it a 15 seconds video. And then you go to the app and you click reshoot, and you can basically fill it with what you wanted to produce in first place. And this is the way how you can make sure that all the seconds will have the equal length. Because it happens very often that, you know, I have different scenes that make my video, but you press one scene a little too long, and then you don't have time left because it's never going to be longer than 60 seconds available for your shoot. And when you produce these blanks and you reshoot them, you are in the time frame, because also with the reshooting, you never can be longer than what you produced initially. It's a nice little hack. The formats that we mentioned earlier. Here is the duet.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So this is just a little example I did for a duet. This is basically when you interact with another TikTok user, and this is how it appears on the screen. So on the right side is always the first video, and on the left side is always your interaction with the video.
Also, when you hear it's X2, I think you can hear how he's speaking super slowly.
That's a good example of what you mentioned earlier, yes.
And you just have to move your lips accordingly, because it's not about your sound, it's about the sound from the original video.
I'm going out the voice.
Another maybe tip for lip syncing, if you want to get it really on point, is like if you have a very long video and you don't want to learn all the text in the video, you can just lip sync to watermelon, and you just say watermelon, watermelon, watermelon all the time, and it's gonna have the effect of just you lip syncing to the video, and it's gonna be fine.
There is always some cheating available. Maybe one thing I'd like to add: when you produce X2 or X3, just be aware that not only your lips will move faster when you play it in real time, but also your body. So when you go lip syncing, but you move like this while you are lip syncing slowly, it will be very hectic in the final movie, in the final clip. That might be intentions, but if you don't want to really do it, just be aware that your body should also move very slowly, because every movement will be accelerated equally than your voice.
Right.
So maybe come to an end here. We should be able to see.
Oh, this is the final video, by the way.
Baby, you look so handsome. Where are you going?
With the boys.
Oh, for real? I didn't know you guys were going out. Have fun though.
What?
What?
I'm going out with the boys.
Why are you being weird?
I'm going out with the boys.
I know.
What?
You don't have money, huh?
What? I have
Here, babe. Oh, have fun with the boys.
it says
Money
for what?
to go out
With the boys. I'm going out with the boys.
with
baby.
the boys. Yeah.
You know what? I'm going out no more. I'm about to go change. I'm gonna call the boys and I'm going to shit.
Okay.
All right.
Another format is React.
Yes, this is the other format. So this is another example, and this is basically how you do it. And what it is basically, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Somebody reacting to another person's video, like the facial expression reaction, the emotions explained. Yeah, so this works pretty much the same way, and it's called React. And the difference between this format and the other one is that this is just a little box on the left corner, which...
But I think you can move it wherever you want. I think it's not solid. For example, if there is a part of that video where the arm, let me see if I can make that work. If the arm leaves the frame, you can take your arm and continue that arm. That kind of connects you with the person who produced the initial video. If you want to have some interaction like this.
Those are some little things you can also do. That's super fun to do.
Now it's about the fun part. And that's all
yes,
the
this is like the
filters.
post-production of TikTok, basically. And this is basically, yeah, like enhance, and we're gonna go into filters, sound, stickers, and more.
One is applying text.
Yeah. So basically you just can, if you, I would just use this thing if it really needs some more explanation to the video, because not always, you know, text is gonna be necessary, but if it needs some extra explanation, or if you want to say something extra, you should definitely use this tool. And you can basically change up the colors. You can do different fonts. You can do it left-sided, middle-sided, or right-sided. And this is also here, as you can see on the screen, how you can edit it. And you can have as many texts as you want in your video, and you can have them in whichever length you want. So if you just want, like, if let's say your video is like 60 minutes long and you just want it to be, I'm sorry, 60 seconds long, and you just want it to be there like for 2 seconds, you can do that. And yeah, I think that's pretty much about that.
So you can do as many texts as possible, but you don't want to have them overlay. So that's why this selection, you just click on the text and then you see set duration, and then you can basically draw it on that frame, line of frames where you want to see the text. And this is how it would look finally. So welcome. I hope y'all are having an amazing day.
And of course, what you also can do is you can set one to the first like 2 seconds of the video, then leave it there and have another one appear, so that at the end of the video you have like 15 texts at the same time. Also, that works as well.
Another element are effects, and there is a crazy amount of possible effects. You can change the background, so there is a special background filter that you found working best, where you basically just swipe on the main screen to the right and to the left. And please make your notes, because there is nothing of this happening in the slides. Which one is the perfect setting for the video, for the picture?
So this is like a incredibly popular filter on TikTok, because it works amazingly. If you want to look really like Snatch, if you want to look like with this sunny glow on your skin, you should use the G6 filter. It's literally the best filter, but make sure to have a little sunlight, or just enough light in the room, because this is how the filter works the best.
Next to this, you have a lot of augmented reality elements that changes your facial expression. You can be broad, smile, all the things that you probably know from Snapchat, and Instagram has them as well. You can add vignettes, stickers, emojis. A lot of this is available.
The whole 9 yards, basically.
It's basically so much that I want you to tinker around. Play with it, even if you're not a filter person, play with it, because some of them are really good. They're really enhancing your video. However, per se, filter doesn't mean your video gets better. If your video is already great and you're happy with what you're seeing, you don't necessarily have to apply a filter. Don't overdo it as well, right? Sometimes it's like PowerPoint presentations, where one slide to the next, the transition is so animated that people don't want to look at it anymore. Yeah. It's kind of the same thing. There's a lot of overdoing on filters.
But also sometimes it can be perfect for your video, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. This is why they're there, and use them. The app is updated every other week. So every 2 weeks, they're actually adding filters to the program.
So it's up to you to decide if it's good for your video or not. Yeah.
The sounds is very important. So I want you to take over the sounds part.
Also a little thing to the text filter section. You can also, you're able to use green screen on the TikTok app. So that's a function. I just wanted to put that out there. Didn't mention, but yeah. well, it's just a song. One little trick I have also to like getting more engagement and getting basically so that the chances are higher that your video goes viral is using the category TikTok viral. There's a thing, it's called TikTok viral, TikTok viral. And if you choose one of those songs, then it's also, the algorithm is also gonna show you to more people and push you forward.
And also another functionality is you have your original sound when you produce the video, but then you have the soundtrack as well. You can switch volumes between those, because sometimes you don't even want the original sound. Sometimes you just want the soundtrack as a nice curtain, but you want your voice to be in the front. So this is how you can arrange this, that the original sound is higher, lower, down to 0, or the soundtrack, same thing. Let's move on. I'm gonna post it.
Post, yes.
This is about the hashtags.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So hashtags are, of course, also important here on TikTok. And I'm gonna reveal to you right now the most important hashtags you could ever use on TikTok. And I would just always recommend to use those crucial hashtags, because they're this is how you get on the For You page. And as we learned before, this is our goal, get on the For You page.
And we're also going to share a table of popular hashtags in a few slides. So
Definitely.
You can have this when you revisit the presentation and you go to this slide, you can take all these popular hashtags as an inspiration, what you want to use. Maybe one thing to add, you shouldn't overdo it with hashtags.
Yes.
Right? There is a character limit and you can just throw 100 hashtags to your video. That
also, you just can't do it, but because of the character limit as well, yeah. So I would definitely recommend using the hashtags I'm gonna mention right now, and plus from the list that Nikki is gonna share with you in a minute, also you can just look around what works best for you. So the most crucial hashtags are FYP, hashtag For You, hashtag For You page, hashtag trending, hashtag viral. Don't ever forget those hashtags. These are crucial. And now let's go to the list.
Before we go to the list, something that's also nice as a promotion with interaction is invite people to, or offer a giveaway to a certain barrier that you'd like to reach, certain benchmark you'd like to reach. Like, I want to have 500 followers. I want to have 1,000 followers, and you're only 100 away from this. You can say, like, here's the Amazon €20, $20 gift card, and I'm giving it to my 500 follower. This is some nice activation. Of course, you also want to make sure that when you're posting the video, that you're giving the description of the whole thing, of this giveaway promotion, yes, as well, to the hashtags.
And that, of course, definitely for sure, you can also put the giveaway on your bio, because then a lot more people can see it when they come to your page.
Like with all the other profiles, you have the Instagram, you have the bio, and the Facebook, you have the about, and also on TikTok, you have this little bio where you have 3 lines, I think, of space where you can say something about you.
Yes.
Next to the hashtags, it also makes sense to have a catchy signature phrase, something nice and something where it should be encouraging. You want people to watch your video, right? You want them to go and watch your video, but you also want to be found if someone is searching for something. One important thing maybe for the hashtags, it shouldn't be too long. It shouldn't be hashtag, I'm so happy that all the 25,000 followers of Laura are joining here for the web stream here today, or all of you 20 participants should have big fun. This is a too long hashtag. There is too much of a danger of typos and no one wants to read it, no one can read it, so make it very, very short, simple, and sexy. The trending hashtags we mentioned.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Where you can find trending hashtags as well, as we mentioned before, is on the Discover page, where the current trends are visible. Yeah.
And also you just start searching like cars and you see what hashtag is followed by cars. And if cars per se have 1.1 billion views, that sounds like a good hashtag to use if you have a car video.
Yes, definitely.
Location is also interesting because location determines also where your video has been distributed. So by default, people see it where you are, but you can also make people in London or in New York see a video. You just have to hashtag London or New York.
Or hashtag Dubai or India.
Dubai.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a lot of research related to this. And if you know that there is a huge amount of people following this topic on cars in Mumbai, why not add hashtag Mumbai to your video? Let's come to the algorithm, the long-awaited algorithm. It basically has 3 elements, and the whole thing is the umbrella concept is a batch theory. So your video is shown to a few people, and how they respond and what they see determines if the video is shown to the next batch. I've produced a video, so you've seen it in the very beginning, in the Soho House in Berlin together with Laura, and then I halted my account, so it grew nicely, and then I halted my account, so that put it out of the algorithm, and then people started watching it again, and then it got into the next batch, and now it's growing again. So that happens. That's kind of something that you realize happen, that it comes in waves, that sometimes your video has been shown to a lot of people, and then it's hibernating, and then it grows again. The rule is basically 1 like for every 10 views. So if you understand that you're posting something on TikTok and it grows nicely, there's no need to ask your friends to go there and push it. But if it's like on next day, it doesn't grow that much anymore, that might be a good idea to invite your friends to go to this video and like it or comment it or respond in it in a way that it puts it back on the radar screen of the algorithm.
Yes, because the more people comment and interact, of course, this is going to push you further. And
another very interesting phenomenon, and it's a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy, it's the growth rate per day. So if you have 40% more likes in a day, you're going to push to more batches. That also means that when you're very successful and you're shown to more people see your video, it's more likely that you have this growth rate. It's kind of interesting because that's where the algorithm is basically looping.
Maybe another little thing I would like to add here is that also it depends, like watch time is very important on TikTok, right? As well as that. So if your video gets like there are some seconds mark. So there's like a 3-second mark, like a 5-second mark, a 10-second mark. And when a lot of people hit your 3-second mark of watch time or your 5-second match or your 10-second match, you know, it also performs better and better by how far it goes. So the more watch time, the better for your performance as well. Which also tells you that you should not, I would not recommend uploading a video that's shorter than 3 seconds, because it will never cross the barrier of having people watching the video for 3 seconds. So here are the long-awaited list of hashtags. As I said, you're gonna get access to this and you can revisit this slide, and then you can decide which one works best for your video, and it should somehow fit the video. It's weird if there is a hashtag with party and there's nothing like party happening on the video. People are getting annoyed. They just don't want to see that. Yeah. Interaction, big thing. Yes. Back to you. Posting. So, oh yeah, definitely it is important to make friends on the platform. So definitely, I mean, this is kind of how also other social networks work, you know. It's good to like and comment on other people's videos, and so they like and comment to you back. Also, very good thing to do is to tag your friends whenever you post a video, just post a video, because then of course they're getting notified and they can comment on your video and they can like your video and interact with you, and also of course this is gonna push you further on the algorithm. So, yeah. Also interaction counts also things we've mentioned before, like duets with friends or other TikTokers, and reacts, of course, that's another form of interaction. Yeah. One of the questions we've been asked a lot is how many TikToks shall I post? And I've done some research, and some people say you should post 6 videos every day. And I think this sounds, even though you can produce a TikTok in 20 minutes or less, it feels like a lot. It feels like a lot of a commitment. But I would say if you want to be active towards your audience, if you want to be recognized, if you want to
if you want to grow, give them a frequency they can resonate with. Give them a frequency that they understand. Like every Monday there is a posting from you, or every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday there is a posting from you, or every Monday at 6 a.m. there's something happening from you.
Or every day there's a posting.
Of course, every day. So that's one thing that you determine, but it's good to be consistent in that time zones or in the time windows where you post your stuff is also a good thing. However, we found something highly interesting, and that's a timetable, and we're going to share this. And there is actually a Google Calendar that you can subscribe to, and also we're going to share that with you. So you will even have it in your phone. What are good time zones to post your video? And on this slide, you see from Monday to Sunday, Eastern time, so New York time, like on 6 a.m. or on 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. and on and forth, over 100,000 global TikTok users have posted and engaged to postings. So that seems to be, for some whatever reason, a good time to also post your video, because there is high response rate to what's happening there.
Yes, cool.
And of course, we should all connect.
Yes, definitely. You should for sure follow us on TikTok, and of course we will follow you back.
And also each other.
And each other. Oh yeah, definitely. Guys, please, everybody who has a TikTok account should write
we have that information
in the text right now. Oh, we have that?
Yeah, we have the information at the beginning. So we have,
okay.
When you scroll up your
they
chat,
cool.
You'll find something like 15 TikTok user accounts, and follow us, and
sure.
And we're gonna do this like this right now, because also the live stream should have this information. So I don't know if you can read this. Here you go. Here you can read it.
I mean, they know who I am because I'm streaming on my account.
So there's information on both our accounts.
Yes, you should follow us.
This brings us to the very end of the run through of how to produce a TikTok video. And I'm going to stop that sharing and just go into us speaking to you without the presentation. I'm curious. You can either unmute yourself and start talking, and if that gets too messy, we're going to go one after the other, or you just drop it in your chat. Let's do this in a very unconference style. Ask questions. You can also post in what your task is, what you have to do, and where you feel stuck, where you feel like you don't know how to move on, and we're happy to answer and support you. That's always the awkward moment until the first person,
silence moment.
Until the first person starts writing something or posting something. The must-have hashtags again. All right, so you know what? We can go back to this slide. That might make sense.
But I feel that they're not every hashtags I mentioned. It's not on the slide.
Not every hashtag is. For you page,
so
for you.
Definitely upon the second one.
Wait, they don't see it right now. Let me just go back and share that
because
slide again.
They're not every hashtag I mentioned is not there. But I can just tell you again if you want.
Either way. So you can share and you can write it down. It's for you page, it's FYP.
It's FYP.
It's for you.
For you, it's hashtag trending and hashtag viral. So again, I can repeat that again. It's FYP for you, hashtag viral, hashtag for you page. This one is not here. It's, oh yeah, right, it is here. It's the second one. For you page and hashtag trending and hashtag viral. Yeah, trending is not in here.
You know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go there. Maybe I can do this. We have
oh, you can edit that list. That's cool. Thank you so much. Thank you for the present.
Trending. What did we say? Viral? No, viral. We have trending.
Yeah, I think we have everything now. Maybe put TikTok down here so we can always say like it's the first 5 or so.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Go back here. And now we can.
So it's the first 5 hashtags on the list that are very important.
And now you can see it. For you page, FYP, for you, viral, trending, and TikTok.
Yes, that's right.
Did you copy that? Elizabeth, are you good?
Yes, I'm good, thank you.
Awesome.
Good, nice. Anything more? Any other questions? Any other concerns? Fears, doubts?
If not, I mean, I could maybe just share a little rundown on what we've just shared. Maybe just a little sum up to.
So we're having a huge audience, and I think questions are always also inspiring for someone who did not ask the question. So I'd like to encourage you guys on the stream as well to ask a question. If there is anything you feel like, if you followed the stream, anything about TikTok, anything about producing a good video, use the chat or comment with your question in the live stream, and we can also share it to everyone here.
Yes, definitely.
Back to you guys, of course. Anything I should know, anything we should know, any question you want us to ask? Was that good? Did you like it? Give us a comment, to go back to the chat and give us a 1 to 10, where 10 is off the charts and 1 is, why did I waste my time on you guys? Feedback.
We got a silent audience today. Where you at, guys?
Yeah, I want to activate you, but give us a quick review on how you liked that webinar, how you liked that session, if it was valuable for you, if there is something, rate it. Give us a quick rating. I'm curious. None.
Guys, where you at? Don't leave us hanging like that. It's not.
9. Thank you.
9.
Damn,
oh,
9 is
yes.
good.
9's very good.
A lot of intake. Thank you, Sebastian.
Okay,
I'm happy to hear.
Thank you so much, Sebastian.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to type in my email into the chat. And if you'd like to reach out for us, use that email and ping us.
Yeah, and you can definitely write my email down as well. So if you have any questions also, you can write there if you would like.
Here we go. And that means that and that's not a formal invite, that's kind of a real and honest invitation to come back to us and have a conversation. And we're actually doing, or have been doing, because the quarantine limits us, like you guys, a little. We've been doing meetings with friends. It's kind of a quality time with friends, where friends come over to our place and we shoot TikToks with them. And
yeah,
then
it's like a TikTok session.
2 hours later, everyone leaves with 6 or 7 videos on their wall. It's amazing. It's a fun thing to do. And you can also actually do it with your virtual connections you have to friends, and figure out how you can produce videos together. Maybe one starts a video and another one reacts, or duets, and the third one reacts on a duet. Whatever you want to do with this, everything is possible. And I totally agree with you, Christian. Of course, it's important to try it on yourself, and you figure out what makes sense for you. You figure out what you've missed. This is where we have the invitation.
Yes, also definitely just have fun as well on the app. You know, experiment, try new things, because it's a lot of fun as well.
Elizabeth, the answer is yes. Not right now, maybe, but you know what? Here is a big thing. So I'm doing the Silicon Valley inspiration tours, and as we can go to San Francisco right now because of the travel ban, and also because it doesn't make sense to leave your place. So this travel ban is for a good reason. However, you can participate, if you're curious, in the first virtual Silicon Valley inspiration tour that's happening on April 13th. So if that's okay to plug that here, I'm gonna write this down: Silicon Valley inspirationtours.com. So if you go there, you'll find the connection to the first virtual Silicon Valley inspiration tour, where you're going to have 2 meetings with people in San Francisco, in Silicon Valley, in their companies. They're going to share their experience and their thoughts. Look into this. It's another topic. So same but different. If you want to talk about that, we can also follow up on in a different format.
Yeah. Also, I think I'm gonna be making more live streams in the future. And if you follow me, you can, of course, always jump in. And if you have more questions, you can ask them there for sure as well.
Maybe also to keep on plugging, we're doing this webinar every week. So usually on Thursday or Friday, I'm posting the dates for the following week. And if you feel like you'd like to revisit it because there are some aspects that you didn't understand or you want to hear it again, join us next week for the webinar. Also for you guys on the stream, because with the webinar you have this chance of interaction, and it's just we've been doing this. We're doing this every week, and we enjoy it, and we love that conversation. We're passionate about what's happening here, and want to do this for you and with you.
So definitely, also, guys, if you know anybody who like struggles on TikTok or needs some more advice or anything, you can totally spread the message. As we're doing this every week.
We had a very good question from Sabrina. Does TikTok make sense to be used for business to business? The answer is yes, because there is no such thing as business to business without human interaction. So whenever you'd like, TikTok is really good to have some sort of an interaction and bonding with what you produce or what you encourage others to produce. That basically means if you have a business to business relationship, for the relationship, you can make use of it. Like, to give you an example, employees are also some sort of a business to business relationship, although they don't fall under the category because they're not a business to business. But when it comes to working with and growing and establishing relationships, you can use this. But it's not a tool that you can use to inform your business to business. Because it's always people's facing, right? There is no connection to process, and there is no connection to an institution. There's always a face at the other end. So there's always a face. You should always be a face, right? There's always some human to human interaction, and every time human to human interaction also applies to B2B, you can make it work for you as well. If that answers your question. Do we have any question from the stream? Not yet.
I feel like they just like to watch and give likes.
All right. give likes. Give likes and support Laura.
Today.
So as we mentioned earlier, Laura has so many users, she can also do a live stream on TikTok. That might be an application for B2B, right? You can do a live stream. You can basically stream to a lot of people, like we're doing this here, like Zoom or Instagram stream or Facebook Live. You can also do this on TikTok if you want to approach a broader audience at the same time with just sharing something and limited interaction. Because people can always comment, and they can always give you feedback like I like, or I dislike, or I heart, or I want to pay you for this content. That's all possible. But beyond that, the B2B applications are, as I said, it's a human to human tool. Any more question? Any more thoughts?
If not, or maybe at the end, I could just do a recap of what we talked about, maybe like a little sum up to close things up.
Okay, can I plug 2 more things before that?
Of course.
So cool. So we're not only doing the TikTok webinars, we also talk about the art of storytelling, because we think being able to articulate yourself is a life skill that you need. So it's not only for a situation when you are on the stage. We also want to help you articulate yourself, because if you're not able to articulate an idea, it is as if you wouldn't even have an idea. That's one thing that we're doing. We're talking about the skills of social intelligence. Right now, I think this is the biggest skill needed. How are we humans treating each other? It's another 90 minutes webinar that we're doing. And the last one is on the exponential growth strategies. I'm faculty coach of Singularity University, which is an institution in Silicon Valley. And it's all about how can we understand exponentially growing technology to solve exponentially growing problems. And wherever you see the big players today, they're all exponential organizations: Apple, Uber, Tesla, Amazon. These are exponential organizations. They function differently, like linear organizations like Siemens or BMW or Henkel, where it's all about just selling a lot of the same products to be successful. So these are the 3 other webinars that we're doing. So if you're interested, maybe just post with a webinar, just write webinar into the chat, and then I can relate to your name and give you the information about these.
Can I take this?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And we have another really good question.
Kerstin. Hi, Kerstin. So definitely, whenever you do a video, there is the option that instantly saves down to your phone. So you can save the videos always. Also, if you haven't, if you don't have this setting activated, yeah, you can do it afterwards when you after you've posted the video. You can also download the video. And the only thing maybe I want to give you a heads up of is that the video is gonna be watermarked with the logo of TikTok. But I mean, it's not too big or anything. It's just in the bottom left corner and also
bottom.
on the bottom. Yeah.
But you can crop it.
You can crop it.
Hack.
Yes.
You can crop it. You can make it a little smaller, and then it'll be original. However, every cross-pollination makes sense.
Yeah, that maybe this is something we haven't mentioned, that is also very important. Once you post a video, you should definitely cross promote it, you know, put it on Instagram stories. That's what I always do, but also, you know, use Facebook, you know, Instagram as well, whatever social medias you are on. That is good for promoting your video.
Good question, Kerstin. Thank you for that.
For sure.
All right. I think you have all. Which tools are you using to creating your content? Channel management tools. Well, I think there's a split question. This question, if I got you right, Christian. So the question is, which tools are you using for creating your content? Do you also use general management tools for more channels? So for creating the content, as much as possible, I'm always using the app. I create Instagram content with the Instagram app. I create TikTok content with the TikTok app. I create, well, Facebook is very much about text or LinkedIn.
Because TikTok wants you to use.
They want you to stay on board. They don't want you to come from somewhere else. They want you to stay on board and produce everything.
And of course, this is gonna give you a better performance because TikTok knows whenever you just upload a video from your phone, or you actually film a video from the TikTok app. So that's going to make a difference as well.
And then about distribution, which is the second part. So as much as I know, you can use the TikTok app to interact with the community, but not external. I don't know if there are third-party tools that also implement TikTok, to be honest, because me personally, I'm not using it. I started using, what is it, Boomster or Booster or whatever, where you post one content, it will be distributed to all the channels. I felt like I lost control of what's happening. And also, I think, right, if you're having, I think you should adjust your message to your audience, even if it's just slightly. I think you shouldn't use this exact same comments to the post for Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram and TikTok. You should slightly adjust it because the audience is different, right? Yeah. LinkedIn are more business people. Facebook is probably more on lifestyle and general attention. Like Instagram is more on inspiring and inspiration, like Pinterest. Yeah, so and TikTok is entertaining. So if you already see that there are different scenarios where you reach people, I think the same message applied to all of these postings doesn't make sense. So I would always suggest take your time because you want the audience to feel special. I think it's worth the time, even if that's an extra loop. Besides that, I don't know if you've ever used any boosting tools. I've used, as I said, I think it's called Booster or Boomster. I'm sure that you guys know better than I what's available and what makes sense. And I also, maybe to the watchers here on the webinar, I don't know if you use any distribution tools for your social content.
You mean like what exactly is Boomster? Just so
you post a video and a text, and it will be distributed to all your feeds.
Oh, okay. So it's something like Hootsuite or something like that.
Hootsuite, yeah. Okay. Another example.
No, I don't really use that ever.
Yeah, Hootsuite also tried. Yeah. I tried them all. It didn't really add value. I feel like there's this little detail that makes a difference. And if you, as I said, just adjust the posting line, that's already enough detail. I don't know, Christian, if that answers your question. Good.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah, so definitely, guys, if you need some Silicon Valley inspiration, you should go to this guy. Also, some talk like Ted, you should go to this guy. If you need some life advice, you can go always to me because I give very good life advice as well. And of course, definitely, if you know somebody who likes the TikTok, you should send them over here.
Also, I think if you'd like to produce something together Laura would be your go-to. If you like to
Oh,
produce a
for
duet
sure.
or
Of
react, I'm
course,
sure she'd be
definitely.
totally in. So whatever your task is for your education, for your school, or whatever you want to do, I think she's a good go-to to be part of this.
Sure.
That being said, thank y'all. Thank you on that webinar. Thank you guys on the
Thank you guys
stream.
so much. Thank you.
We enjoyed it. That was a really
We
cool
loved
session.
it. It was so cool.
It was
Yeah.
off the charts in terms of participants. Altogether, we had a few hundred participants. That's pretty awesome. And I hope to see you soon again in one of our webinars. And if not, I wish you all the best for your school, for your task, for your education.
Also, maybe I should do the recap.
Oh, yes. So sorry. Yes, recap.
Okay. So this is just a little summary of what we went through. So first, what is important to go viral on TikTok? What is important to be successful on TikTok? So first point, do your research, definitely get inspiration. Second one, hop on trends, but give it your own twist. Be original, right? Make it a remix the content, remix trends. Then post content that TikTok has never seen. Very important. Of course, very important as well, use popular songs. So there's this function called this section of music, it's called TikTok viral, very important. Fourth, post consistently. I mean, that's a no-brainer, right? This is if you want to grow, you have to post consistently. This is it's the same with Instagram and Facebook as well. It's just how that works. Of course, use relevant hashtags as well. The most relevant hashtags: FYP, for you, trending, viral, for you page, because the goal is to get on the for you page. And then definitely have a story, tell a story, have a storyline, a beginning, a middle, and an end, and know your niche. Know what kind of content you're doing. Is it makeup? Is it cars? Is it electronics? Is it comedy, etc.? Yeah, and I think that's something that
was a beautiful recap.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for signing up, for being here, for spending 2 hours with us. We really enjoyed it. I hope you too, and see you very soon.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys, for your time. Bye. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for being here with us. I'm gonna go off now, but